overall. What do we feel like Polaris kind of need with this last pick? Is there any flaws that they need to cover?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned a little bit of control. I think he still wants to see a little bit more for Polaris coming out there. Their team fight's really tied into Golem drop on the Warlock. Otherwise, it's all target. Whereas in comparison to Talon, they do have a lot more AoE now. And they go for the Doom themselves, so they pick up that Doom for them. That should be our off lane coming out for Force, so that we have some Xavius played at. So some of that flex is still on hand. And they will go with a Q Tiny, so it's the Mars Tiny lane in the end, and we'll keep hide on Ench. And does look like again they're holding on. Force will for the Doom off. All right. And that should be the mid Coddle. It's I just talked about that Doom. Force is gonna have enough lane. No, at least hides there the Enchantress, so you do have some poking around there. It's a double melee for Force and Xavius against a Bloodseeker and an Ench. So on paper, at the very least, Hyde should have some presence that help zone them out for Savage Farm.
10 seconds remaining.
This is also a treat that we get to get a Force Doom. Of course, also another person that changed his name, formerly known as Nico. He was and is a incredible Doom player, something that they, on the Execration lineup, they would prioritize very heavily. So it'd be exciting to see how this one's able to shape up. Honestly, I was with this last pick, I was actually considering if they were going to flex the Coddle, just because I do think he's pretty counted in this game. You got Void Spirit to jump in. Savage is more than likely going to even put the Rupture out on the Coddle. Mars with the Blink. Q with the Blink. There's a lot of gap close, and Coddle does not want to be playing with heroes that can get on top of him. So I wasn't sure if they were going to try and flex it and go for a better hero out of Lelouch, but they feel like the Doom is going to be enough, of course, with his scaling potential to the late game. Can really take Makoto out of the equation and potentially another hero if they do get the double Doom. But for me, John, I think really the one strong lane I'm looking at for Talon is going to be this Bloodseeker along with the Enchantress, but I don't know if that's going to be enough though, because Savage is like, the other lane Savage is not going to be playing with the Thirst. We're expecting Mars and Tiny to not have a good time.
Definitely, and you have to also be very wary of camps now. There's seen the lightning creepy big, the creepy big, and just allows constant harassment onto that blood safe lane. So you also lose out with the enchant there, because it's Doom Enchantress. You can just remove that enchant, play hide. You might have to offer the impetus and the nutrients instead, and that could give a little bit more leeway for Polaris play as well. So we'll see. They've got a lot of choices. They've got a lot of ways to make all these lanes winning in Polaris' end. It does still feel like a bit of a tougher time for Talon. And we all see Polaris going a bit aggressive with that smoke here.
Such an interesting ward from Makoto. What is... Okay. I've really not seen them. I've been watching some replays for the Major and seen some new wards that I've been liking. This one, though, yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's just spotting out rotations from Foresight into some decent vision for the rune as well. So it's still within range of that to fill up your bottle by the 6-minute mark especially, and at least protects Mikado a little bit more. You do have that rotation coming in from Xavius, so you want to watch that Marcy on flanks, and that should give Mikado enough time to respond at least to movement in.
Do not be fooled about the no golden bars at the top, lads. Polaris, they do have this game 1 victory. One more game secures their ticket over to Genting. That would be incredible for this team. Of course, Polaris relegated out of Division 1, and a lot of people were counting them out. The fact they've been able to make it all the way through, take game 1, and now honestly have a draft that I think can really put them in a position to take this game as well. I like their draft a lot.
It's a really solid trap. We're already being aggressive onto Hyde. Forced to go for the level 1 nature's attendance. Davey just recognizing how much he can do on Marcy, trying to create hits. Hyde's right isn't the best. You are starting to force out a little bit with the Blightstone on Hydo. So you are trading blows and Hyde's back to full HP with nature's attendance. This should be a manageable lane for Hyde as long as you kind of watch the camps. Like, they won't want to give the Enchantress creeps. You also want to give the Doom any big creeps to play with the abilities. Savis is already blocking that small camp with his body, and Hyde blocks large camp with his body. So it's just going to be a straightforward lane and trading hits, and if you isolate that factor of having additional abilities on force, the Doom can be a bit slower in the first few levels.
I just panned to top to see the shenanigans of the creep pulls, and god damn, this tiny with the level 1 trait just denied 3 creeps in front of the Chaos Knight. That's just, oh my god.
And you gotta love that bonus damage on the tiny. And that is giving Q some soul EXP as well. KP tracking under the creep wave away, bit further back. So just trying to play this lane a little bit slower. Get that build up, maybe hit level 2, level 3. That's where you can start to have a little bit more presence. Is that double melee lane you mentioned though, for the Mars to have to deal with. So not as much follow through, not as much ways of setting up for the spear or follow through.
John, what's going on? I'm so sorry. Look at the bottom river as well. Oh, what has happened to all the side lanes? What a state we are in.
Yeah, they're just pulling, they're just trying to get these greedier for some solo XP, some ways of getting some spikes, and they're just interfering every time. This is a little bit worse for Xavius though. His Hyde still has control of the wave, and he's going to be able to trade a little bit more, and Savage can still maintain his farm here.
Well, Lucia's got a couple of creeps too. Oh god. This is a, honestly, this is something that I think Tundra do best at being able to exploit. They're under the assumption that you can chuck a double melee into any lane, especially now even on dive, because you have the capability to drag the creeps behind the tower now that they kind of opened up that path. So we see, I think this is going to be, they tried to patch it. They've got to do something a little bit better, because it's still just breaking open lanes. Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah.
It's leading to a much better equal state for both sides now, as they are just able to farm up. It is hurting Atsumi a lot more. Compare that core 4 here. Savage nearly double the CS for CK. So you're really not getting as much in terms of farm, and the CK isn't necessarily the quickest farmer. You can play with Phantasm, but Bloodseek can work that jungle self-sufficiently much more consistently. So you have to watch how much you're giving away here on Polaris. And even then, you know, the only real lane that Polaris getting your win in is on mid for now. You're getting a lot more out from Lelouch, which is to be expected, but it's not an overwhelming win yet for him. And again, with the wards down from Talon, Xavius doesn't really have some angles to play from Rune into a game.
This is really interesting from Makoto. He's actually gone 2 points in the Remnant, which is something you don't see this at all. I wonder if it's just a lower cooldown, because the nice thing about the Remnant is you can kind of chuck it out on the Cuddle who's standing still to blast. Is there something else you could maybe see with why he's leveling this up?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's been using it to trade blows, keeping it with the lower HP people like landing it again. So every single time he does try to blast, it's not completely unpunished. And Mikado can get some damage in, force some pressure onto Lelouch as well, just stop him from overwhelming the Void Spirit and getting a little bit of play on his own end.
It's interesting. Force is still yet to be playing with a creep. They do have a really nice one in the Seder by the medium camp at the outpost. Force is going to take a decent amount of damage here, enchanting the blood, right? But the bonus movement speed is going to be enough for the moment. He's quite struggling down bottom. And Savage, he might be able to kill, but not going to continue with the chase. Okay.
Doesn't want to attempt to bait dispose into tower in, provide an opening for Polaris, but Doom is off to a much slower start. Like, he's barely above Q on the tiny in terms of CS, and he's already used up the self, so another opportunity for Savage to just run down here.
Finally, should have our first blood 5 minutes into the game. Force is going to make him work for it, but Savage, of course, he has this vision with the thirst, and beautifully done. Able to secure our first blood onto the Bloodseeker, and is in a credible position to start off our second game.
is the other's
It's something that Talon really need. They're getting off to a strong start here, punishing that dual melee from Polaris' end. They do manage to get the dispos onto Savage under tower, but don't have the follow through. Force doesn't have anything like the Infernal Blade here to get a little bit more burn and stun under that tower aggro. Savage can be able to farm up. Every lane looking decent for Talon, in a great contrast to game 1 where Polaris was all over the place. Even Lelouch farming up the jungle is scouted out by Q. So they've got the information on where the Cockle's playing. They've got a good forward ward as well to watch this. They can't quite stop it though. So the timings of Lelouch to travel should still be lined up here.
They are starting to rotate Enchantress though. You've secured bottom with how well that lane has gone, so you're going to look to play with Mikoto now that he has the level 6, but they're pretty deep. So the rotations coming up to the T2 tower will not be enough to keep Lelouch alive. A beautiful move from Talon, securing multiple lanes. And now they're going to get the toss back out of the T2 tower though. Hide, oh, the Nature's Attendant's level 2. It's going to be enough to give him that health to keep his life. In the end, Xavius and Hyde just going blow for blow. It's not enough to secure a second kill, but meanwhile, it is a lot of damage onto the tower.
You see it creep up here, just enough in the right click, clinking away. You have Lelouch back up, so a little bit more damage can come out from him. High.
Jesus. That's the damage. He's like, alright, I'll take some of the creeps that are pretty low health back in the jungle. I really like that rotation out though from Talon. Nice read, and with this ward as well, they're going to continue to be able to play pretty aggressive. Hopefully AU can look to get back some control of their own jungle. They are able to scout out though, AU dropping that ward, so this is going to be difficult now for Lelouch to continue farming at a safe rate.
Still managing to get done though. Again, no one really walking out to interrupt Lelouch once more. Travel is up and running. I think the issue for Talon is they're able to leave KV alone. He's also not able to farm up all too well. We'll make we move on to AU.
On Q nearby. That's a beautiful play from Hyde. A minor thing, but he doesn't hit when he was out of vision. The Warlock got around the tree line, and Hyde, he made sure he continued to run naturally, like the only way he would have been able to hit him is if his hero had vision. So they might not be able to read that there is still a ward placed there. So just minor things, but again, really important because they are continuing to want to invade Lelouch, who's farming up safely.
Still trying out onto Xavius, but they might find Lelouch instead. Toss back, still not enough damage though. It's gonna take them back here. I mean, everyone's just ganging up mid. It's six heroes mid, 3-on-3. Side lane's just kind of left to farm up. That does feel like it's buying so much space for Natsumi, but Savage is using that space really well as well. Just matching Lelouch's farm. And that is a Cockle with insane wave here. So you're fairly happy on Talon to get this kind of build up. And even KP should be able to meet a decent blink time here to start your play on that Morris.
is under attack.
See, Natsumi is a pretty difficult kill. Decent amount of components completed with on his way towards the armlet. I wonder if they're going to have enough damage though with Arena into Mikoto's rotation. Hyde's got no points in the impetus. So, do you feel like this is kind of the play for them? Hold that thought, bottom lane Savage. First doom of the game. Combined with the Master, there's going to be easy pickings for Polaris and a much needed kill as well. With all the pressure they've been able to put on mid, along with bottom just shutting down force, but that kill is at least able to get some injection of gold into the bank.
It's a very big kill for very big Savage. Has been left alone for too long. They kind of correct some issues from game one where they let that Morphling farm up. They know the Bloodseeker hits a little bit earlier tempo. Need to keep it under. Clump up from Talon up top. Quite amount too much. They are still building up here on Talon's side. And probably working onto his Witchblade for some additional true fight. Sport's still playing tag in that jungle though.
Giving them some information. Seeing whatever they can find. Who's able to get the invis? Kodo, he's chilling for the moment. Could be the Witchblade build for the Void Spirit. What are your thoughts on this item on the Void? I've kind of seen it prioritized a little bit more over in Europe, but Southeast Asia, kind of back and forth I've seen so far.
The stats are good. Does allow you to kind of chase down a little bit more, get a little bit more out when you're trying to burst down. It can be nice, Mikado, to go on to force.
Last time they used the Rupture, Force was able to TP up, but with Makoto being nearby, he won't have that capability. A toss back, Makoto with a chain control. The Chaos Bolt's gonna fly out. Makoto, though, great use of the Dissimulate. They're able to dodge into the TP out. And this is a lot of reactions down bottom. So it's gonna free up top. They've got the Catapult Wave, so KP and Hyde should be able to get a decent amount of damage done to the tower.
And it also allows Savage to back off in that lane. He does use up the Rupture, not the longest cooldown, just farming up in jungle now, almost at that Maelstrom. So still managing to build up. The lead Lush has just doesn't feel like he's letting enough KP.
Oh, he missed the spear. Nice sidestepping out. They've gone way too far. They're going to have to look to Delta split KP into the tree line. They're even going to drop a ward for this. All right, putting a lot of emphasis to try and get the kill onto KP. They'll really make him work for it. I reckon there's zero chance KP makes it up. He's going to be pretty crafty with his Quelling Blade jukes for the trees. No way. I said 0%. Surely not. Okay, they just get him. Xavier's the nick of time with the stun. So much space is being created, though. They're trying to hunt down Natsumi by the secret shop. Makoto's going to go in for the combo. Hyde soon to be able to connect as well. Let's see if the burst is enough to get the kill, and look at tip of KP. No, come on, that is a prime opportunity to give a tip over to Polaris.
It's staying calm and collected and talented. Find a big kill for the sacrifice of KP. Even the mid tower is forced to be denied by Lelouch. So the map is opening up for Talon. Polaris still need to kick into gear. Force is still trying to work on the Midas, and at that point he starts feeling a lot better on that Doom. Lelouch does have the travel around everywhere, and does have the full Spirit Vessel flying through as well. So they've got some ways to increase some regen. Talon will want to brink out. Soften up these targets as well while they take these engagements. And think the key thing for Polaris next is going to be Natsumi. He needs that armlet up. Once he does have that up, he might feel comfy enough to show up in this fight. He is extra durable. We saw how much he had to commit there from Talon. He needed the chain stuns to land perfectly, and only onto one.
Spirit Vessel's going to be a bit of an issue here for Mr. Hyde. HSN is going to do nothing on solutions able to show up to the fight, so nicely done. Some injection of gold into the Chaos Knight, getting closer to that armlet. In fact, it is completed now. Do you feel like Polaris are going to look to try and take a fight with this item completed along with the Doom being at the ready?
They could try to make some plays. The one issue for Polaris is they don't have this way of jumping in right now. Outside of Xavier's getting good rebound, dispose off. So it's not as mobile. It's not as easy for them to just hammer them into the target. Depend on Talon misplaying KP.
He's going to be in some trouble. Lelouch TPing in aggressively with Natsumi's position. He's going to be forced to use the arena defensively for the solo buy and make sure that movement speed is not enough to disengage from Makoto. What? Oh, not enough. He's going to tick out of the Spirit Vessel, but still the damage onto Natsumi might be enough. The reinforcements are showing up, but Q just off the mark to get the combo. Now Natsumi, he's looking to go back in. Pumping the damage onto the tiniest Polaris. They'll get 2 kills up top.
Yeah, they try to make a play on Talon, doesn't pan out. The output is there from Polaris, but the armlet Natsumi is just nearly impossible to kill. The first play has to be on point. The chain stuns have to fly through. We saw it in that kill down bot there. They needed a perfect remnant into a perfect timed avalanche toss to get that kill. With his added strength, Natsumi has that burst damage. Doesn't feel like it's added. To find a solution for that down the line. The good news for Talon is that Savage is farming with a Maelstrom into his BKB next. So the Bloodseeker's almost at that point where he can show up. You will still have to worry about forcing the Doom. Force almost at his own blink. Midas already done. Farming up like a madman as you'd expect on that hero. Number 2 in net worth now after a slower laning start. So that investment is going to pay off for Polaris. Once you've got that blink Doom up, not even a BKB can save you on Talon set.
It feels like it's like Talon is trying to force the issue, but they don't really have. It's all like they have a lineup where they can really just play aggressive and get tower after tower and death ball. Q is reliant on this blink, like you said. Savage is looking to complete the BKB. It's really just maybe Makoto and Hyde if they can get some pickoffs. So until they really get these items, and you can start to see them be a little bit more aggressive. But this is exactly what Polaris want. Just that slow game where Force is able to find his farm. But might run into Makoto. A double damage rune smoking down to their wall at the bottom side of the map. So a beautiful move from Talon. They'll get the one. They're even looking to try and control the triangle as well. They've got another ward that they're going to pivot over to.
There is little
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Quite see the obs up top, but Kato gives the vision out. Is enough to save A with these. They find a big kill in the Doom. Looking for the flank. Does have the blink flying out now on the Mars. So you've got that initiation on Talon. Again, you're already have that force on the force on himself. Q with the blink might give them more angles here. She's got to see if they can play around it.
See Natsumi.
Radiant's bottom
Radiant's
tower
bottom
is
tower.
under attack.
Cautious. How long does he stick around? Probably just instant TP out in the tree line, and yeah, that's going to be the case. So Natsumi will make it out. Now, what's kind of the play from Talon? Multiple heroes down bottom.
Is under attack.
You look to smoke across the map. You do have to get top shot out to really make a play. Elaine's aren't in the greatest position to get aggressive. In fact, it's Polaris that's going to be the team to smoke. Force jumps on forward. There we go. The blink reveal. Q's going to be able to hold back the Doom. KP's inside with the arena as well, but the damage being dealt. They'll get rid of the Void Spirit out of the team fight, but can they turn this back around on Talon? Taking it by their tier 1 tower. Savage is going to show up as well, but without the BKB, he cannot charge into the middle. As Talon, 3 heroes pop just like that, and Xavier, he's even going to turn his attention over to hide. The Enchantress with the Untouchable is not enough to hold them back as Polaris find a 4-for-1 and the tier 1 tower.
Man, Force is just doing a lot of work on that. He finds the biggest target is Doom up, Mikado out of the equation. And that's just your primary Doom target. You don't care about that Bloodseeker running around. You've got the Vessel to deal with it. He does have the BKB on Savage, though.
Should be killing to Xavius. Help me, team. Don't let me die. Not like this. Alright, fine. I'm just a measly support. Not the worst. That was kind of the timing they were looking for, though, on Talon. You didn't have BKB on Savage, so it was a bit hesitant about running in, but double blink and they don't get a successful team fight, but they might get the kill onto Lelouch. They need another way to hold them in place, and Q just a little bit too late with the Avalanche. So the BKB used to keep the life of the Coddle.
They're cutting their losses well on Polaris Ascend. They've got a sizable lead now. 3K running up here with the Doom getting a lot of farm, but not kind of keeping pace really well here. His BKB's almost done. Talon, they're trying to build into Mikado's Ags next. It does feel like they're gonna need multiple Lincolns. Savage already working onto one. With Mikado's probably gonna need one as well. And you probably want to stack them just on top of the Void Spirit. Have him jump in, have him cop all the spells, and kind of play off the back of that. Beyond that, maybe again focusing on Q and KP, find the angles with the blinks, and try to pin someone down. But Polaris, they're getting beefy, eating through that regen that Hyde wants to provide with the Spirit Vessel, and as long as they've got Doom off cooldown, does feel like Polaris is just going to be able to find Mikado and get short work done here.
I can't imagine the late game gets any easier, even with the Lincolns. Like, you've got multiple ways to pop it. You can even just play with the neutral ability as well, just to hold them in place for long enough. Maybe you get a goddamn fake grenade if you're lucky, but I think Talon, this is really their biggest timing of the game. Double blinks along with the BKBs. But boy, maybe they were hoping a Void Spirit to be a little bit more farmed. Like, Makoto's going to take quite some time to get towards his Aghanim, so you don't want to go late here on Talon, and it's a bit of a concern in the position they're in now.
Yeah, they've got to find some play. They're clumping up around the triangle. Polaris aren't daring to cross their own side of that lane. Sticking by their tier 2.
They see exactly where KP and Q are in. Xavius, that's an ambitious blink. Force is nearby, but Arena from KP is not going to be able to hold them back. Now, this is the fight they're looking for on Polaris. They've still got the ward to play with. Got to get the jump in, though, however. What's the call now? What do you do on Polaris? Because Arena's on cooldown. Do you look to maybe take an objective? Can they even Roche?
They can. They've got the damage on Natsumi with a fantastic. Walk in, get that done himself.
Why not?
And yeah, get lucky as well. Get the BD. Go back in. Talon, it's hard for them to play without the arena, but you could try to snag without the Ags and Mikado. It's a lot harder than it should be. They are clumping around the right side of the map. They're scouting out well with the Mikado illusion. That's enough to force Polaris back a little bit more, and they will smoke up here.
Smoke. Let's scout them out. It's going to be Hyde, the one on the front line. Force is always ready to find the jump. So smoke pops, Force is going to blink away, but Davies goes in instead. Targeting down the Tiny, they've got the Rock to be able to counter-initiate, so Q should be the first hero to be killed off. Down to the south though, Rupture expended for the Doom as well. So the Bloodseeker should be able to reposition thanks to his ultimate holding back Polaris. Odo. Cautious, my friend. If they see him, they see him! Oh, they're in with the first stun, but where's the second and where's the follow-up? Makoto's actually going to jump in for the war stop! Holds him in, Makoto's in trouble, he might kick out, they need the fatal bonds damage from someone else, and they'll get it! Polaris bring down Makoto, they can now turn their attention over to KP! Mars is out of the fight, jumping over towards Q as well as Polaris! They have got all the momentum in this second game and in this series. 7,000 net worth lead. Well and truly in the driver's seats, and they are sensing this ticket over to Genting.
Yeah, they've got such a great shot. They get a great team fight there. The Doom coming after Rupture was a little bit awkward, but for Talon's part, they didn't have the initiation. Q didn't manage to get the avalanche, gets tossed away, forced to buy back. KP expended the arena much earlier on. Their damage on Roche is a bit slow, and the respawns aren't too long, so Talon's going to be around to at least stop that before we go in. They might be able to find some pickoffs if Talon don't play carefully here, though. Still in a very risky spot for Talon. Polaris in a great spot. They've just been scaling well. They've got Invis up on force. No Doom though. So a little bit more to wait until that is up and running. But Talon, they need to find a way to make these blinks work. KP trying to jump on to the Coddle, onto the Marcy. It's just not shaping up. We need to see bigger arenas. We need to see that hooked up with Q's initiation. He's been very brave in the Tiny, trying to go up, make these openings happen for Talon. But the follow-up's not there. If it doesn't connect, it falls apart. Smoke out from Talon here though.
Do have a really nice deep ward scouting out Force. It's like Polaris are aware of this. Up towards their tier 2 tower. Force is going to be playing with a BKB now as well. Smoke themselves, KP. First target jump. Q is not nearby on the Tiny. So if a team fight does break out, they won't have the 5-man for it. So pop KP. That's the target. That's all their team fight. Control KP. Oh, he's gonna an easy kill for Natsumi. A freebie. And now they can move inside the pit 40 seconds without the offlaner.
That's the timing you're looking for on Polaris. No threat of fight for Talon right now.
Savage! Great BKB reactions, but Force is still going to drop the ultimate regardless. Ready, they need to react. Savage, you can't let him go down like this. Rock is out, forced to reposition, but look at the Doom. He's locked onto his target. Same with Xavius. They'll hunt him down, and they'll turn to Hyde next as well. Azarian dragged back into his death. As Talon, they just cannot get a grasp in this second game.
Yeah, Polaris are just punching their every move. They've been able to avoid all these ganks. They've been able to avoid that power spike with the blinks. Talon have not been able to play with any of these items at all. And you know, Mikado's still lacking gold for the axe. He just can't jump in. He doesn't even have something like a BKB to protect himself from stuns. So he can't make those flashy plays we saw him try on the Ember. Just not able to. Polaris 7-19, 11k up. This revitalized squad from Polaris. The Messiah boys are back. Like they are back in full form. This is form I think you saw in particular, Aries, right before the DPC and BTS Pro Series. This is the kind of team that we were expecting. Maybe a bit lacking in the DPC, but certainly in full form here after the fact.
Without a doubt. And that form, it's in particular in this game, it's only going to get easier to execute. Lelouch has got a goddamn Hex now. Still the Lincolns are yet to be completed. So you were already worried about the Doom prior and the single target control. from the Dispose, from the Chaos Ball. Now, good luck dealing with the Hex. I mean, Lelouch 5-1-9, top of the net worth. Really feel like we've put a lot of emphasis on the other heroes from Polaris this game, but Lelouch has had a very stable second game. Xavius? They might be able to blow up the... Oh, damn. Even Xavius doesn't die in the combo. Look up to the side. Makoto out of the equation. Savage is going to try and do it by himself. A BKB to charge down the supports, but they don't even get anyone. And Savage and Cape, they'll both die hand in hand together, as at least they get a consolation off the side Q finding AU, but that it's not enough to call it a worthwhile fight, as Talon, they lose out on 4 heroes.
Yeah, it's a big set of kills for Polaris. They can't even burst down this Warlock and Bastion. Polaris still hold on to the Aegis. They've got a clear shot onto the high ground. It's Q against the world. Respawns are fairly short. So Mikado will be back up. He does have the Ags this time around. So a little bit more presence from that Void Spirit, but with no BKB, with no protection, he still is setting ducks to all of that control. Polaris has been very on point with using, and the game's just it's almost impossible to see a comeback for Talon. 8-23, 16k lead for Polaris. They're building into a BKB for Xavius. They've been very effective with Natsumi going into the Bloodtorn next. More control to toss onto that Void Spirit without protection. Savage, not close. Well, does finish up the link, but needs way more. Wants a Basher, wants a full Mjolnir, wants the Shard. And that's still more farm they need to stall out for. Savage now trailing behind Force, just eating so much. Force is going for the Ags up. Additional break, longer duration, Doom. Doesn't even feel necessary. Every single time he gets a Doom off, you're dead.
I'm just trying to look at Makoto and what he can itemize next. I actually don't think, like, Lincoln's probably would be ideal. I don't think he can complete that though this game. He might be in a position where he has to go for another defensive item, and the Aeon Disc might be one of them. You could also consider a BKB, but I think it has to be a defensive item next here for Voids. But you're behind. It's like you also want damage, you want this pick off. It's such a difficult position to be in to make that call.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to see the angle back for Talon. Polaris have been playing so well with this new roster, with having the coach come into play, with taking Force back in. The teams just managed to find what they want. And for Talon, it's a tough one to come back in. 19k deficit. Map has shrunk. Not too much room to get that build up. They do at least have ward control over the triangle, so there's a safe spot for Savage to farm. But it's only really Savage safely farming. Oh, Xavius.
Some heroes behind him on the high ground. Rupture to the toss. First time we've really seen that combo so far this game. Alright, freebie for Savage. Gets him a bit close towards the shard.
Inching towards it. That can allow him to trade a little bit better. It's I don't know if it's going to be enough. You can need more damage output from Savage. You probably want him to be more durable as well. So we'll just melt 2.2k HP on him. Natsumi a little bit better off with off, and once that's on, just much more durable up front with his own life from his crit. Polaris again. Aegis, only about a minute left. Double damage popped by Natsumi as well, so it doesn't look like they'll be able to use the high ground just yet. But with this sizable lead, it doesn't feel like there's a rush. They are going to smoke up here, though.
He's going to leave this ward, so won't be in a position to pop it and get the blink away. A lot of items soon to reveal, and a scan as well. Oh no, they see hide. And they also see Savage. Great reaction to the BKB. He's actually just going to look to TP up with the rock. AU, the coach standing in. What an ultimate to be able to cancel Savage escaping. They'll get the +1 as well in hide.
Oh boy, it's looking tough. Great smoke out from Polaris. You get the angle, you get the good jump in. Natsumi just head straight forward with blink, and it costs you the golem. You don't care. You don't need that golem for the high ground. Like just canceling that BKB TP is more than enough. Talon clumping around her ward here though.
This is, I don't know. Xavius is not an easy man to kill. Alright, they blow him up, but what cost does it come with? It looks like it's a grave one. Makoto's down. The trade, is it worthwhile for Talon?
What was I doing?
Not really. Not really. Zavius is worth decent chunk of change, but AU is worth a lot more somehow on his Warlock, and he's inching closer towards that refresh on Warlock, double golem drop, more opportunities to just cancel these out right. Mikado, and he gets a little bit of blow for his trouble, but it's equalized by his death. Now, nowhere near closer to that BKB that he desperately needs to hold off in these fights. Does stall out a bit on the progress for the tier 2s, so there's going to be some time for a high ground defense to clump up here from Talon's end.
I think they saw KP bottom. I'm not quite sure how. Maybe he ran through the outpost, gets the BKB before Natsumi was able to hold him with Chaos Bolt. It would have been nice if Lelouch was able to start with the Hex as well, but not going to be the case. The important thing is, though, that they get to bottom before he's able to deal with the waves, so Natsumi can shove this out, and they should be able to soon reconnect back to the triangle.
They've got a good angle back in. Talon still maintains their ward control there. They've still got vision. They're still standing on that high ground. Polaris low. It's just a non-factor, because Polaris are just shoving in all the waves. They've got the Coddle with travel to show up anywhere, and you can just slowly but surely pierce into that high ground. They might stall out for the next Roshan. A minute 20 seconds until we see that timer back up, and I still don't see any play for Talon in that Roshan. Maybe a good arena. Doesn't feel like it's enough. The output, the damage from Talon isn't anywhere near close. And here's the smoke from Polaris.
Ladies, the blink. It's out of Q's initiation. So then to go back up is going to be Polaris. Just keeping them locked inside the portion of the map. They do have the lanes getting shoved down. It looks like they want to get bot pushed in to be able to force Talon to leave the power location of that high ground and go back to base to defend. How do you mount this defense? Maybe a rupture into the toss. Savage going to be cautious though, but the Lincoln's being popped, and Natsumi's not going to mess around. BKB making sure he doesn't give them that opportunity. That could be the play we're looking for, but when you take a fight outside the base, it's never going to happen. But when Polaris is sieging, you know, the rupture into the toss, into the spear, the little movement with the Aether Remnant, like, you got to get really crafty here on Talon, but you won't have that potential if the fight is out somewhere else on the map.
Yeah, they might force themselves into it. Smoke out here once more from Talon, Polaris.
And they catch up to them though. Polaris, well aware of this maneuver, backing up to their high ground. AU's a pretty big kill if they can get him. But McCabe's gonna hold them back for the moment. Can he have an opportunity to pop the rock? The damage is coming through pretty fast, and there we go. Warlock's out, but meanwhile they're gonna be able to jump in with the Doom, controlling 23 Savage. They don't have the blood ticket to provide the damage, and now the rest of Polaris are just swarming to the remaining members. 4 are down, the sole survivor's going to be KP, somehow escaping to the east, but all they got was the Warlock out of that Polaris. Again, they just seem untouched in these fights.
Yeah, I mean, it takes so much to blow out. It's a pause fight Warlock. It doesn't tend to take that much commitment, but they had to pop a lot just to find him there. Catching Savage off with DKB, the Lincoln's just not doing enough to protect. And that's Polaris ripping into the mid set of racks. They could easily flank onto the bot, maybe even bigger. We've got a winning formula here. We're very far ahead. We could try gunning for those tier 4s if they wanted to. I still don't see Talon having any play. We'll go for the safe route. Just push in bot, Mikado, Q are respawning soon on that Void Spirit. Tiny. You might find an angle, but without Savage, you don't even have that Rupture toss back. That toss has netted them a couple of important kills.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh man, Kodo's cast range. Just blind. See how far this Hex is being able to spell cast it from. It's just so dumb. So dumb.
Just a mile away. Even just constantly solar binding people to prevent them from running around, just cutting off angles for Talon to look for that counterplay. Players, again, they're playing patiently. They're not jumping the gun. They're not providing any openings for Talon. They're just playing it safe, taking some fights, going back, taking some objectives, and playing it clean. Talon, again, trying to force a fight outside here.
Davies. perfect time to jump in to get the creeps, but also pop the smoke and get away with it. You know exactly where Talon are. And with the creeps soon to be inside the base, they're going to be forced back shortly to defend. And this is going to lose a lot of the map control that they've been able to get off the back of the smokes. And if you leave this area, then you're soon going to lose your ward. And as soon as that ward is not set up, then it seems like it's almost impossible to take the fight.
Yeah, they even have that full refresh on AU. Double golem drop. Nothing to stop that. The BKB is just completely cancelled out. Polaris has everything. 11 to 30, 31k lead at 35 and a half minutes in. Talon, I just don't see an open. I mean, they're constantly trying to go outside. You mentioned their high ground defense being the best bet they have, Aries, but Polaris don't even try to force high ground until a pickoff happens, and you might find that pickoff with a smoke.
Savage, he's going to show bottom as well, so they can take the team fight. They can just run up to the triangle. Xavier's, he's a bit away from the team, though. They're going to be too late to connect. Natsumi's going to jump in to try and find the rebuttal. KP forced to drop a defensive arena so Makoto can reposition to the left side of the fight. Makoto, he's actually going to jump back in. They know the BKB's on cooldown for Natsumi. They'll turn it back around with all the first rock. They've got the threat of the second, but there we go. Rock shot into the spear push away. Chaos Knight's killed off it. Oh, Savage stuck on the high ground because of the blinding light. There's Polaris. They'll swarm to his location, get the kill. And now they're even looking for a next one to find Makoto. Be able to path his way down to the river next to Hyde, so they'll be okay.
Come on, sprites!
I mean, they find Natsumi, it just cost them a lot. Polaris still doesn't mind. They do use the double golem out from AU. It's not going to have that tool for next engage. Talon, it just doesn't feel like gaining enough. They still gain a net positive there, though. 2k gold going their way despite those losses. So every single engage like that where they can find bigger heroes, it is a somewhat of a win. Still the golem's doing some good work on the objective.
What is that heck? Oh god.
Pretty much the entire screen with how the pop is, so you're not safe Talon. They do manage to save the melee racks on Talon's part. Golems don't manage to get work done on that. But these fights are getting really scrappy. They need to find a way to save Savage. He is just the one being doomed up. That does provide Mikoto room to play. But without Savage, you don't have damage. Mikoto can dance around all he wants. He's got some protection on this. But if Savage he can't hit people with his shards and try to get the Mjolnir procs off, then it's still all for naught. You've got to find some way of stopping force. But even he has a refresh here. He's double doom ready to go.
Scanning for enemies.
First one is on cooldown at the moment, so they're just gonna posture again. Make sure Talon have this difficulty to get outside the base. They're gonna see them with the blast. Things instantly out, so they'll get confirmation. Okay, we saw last fight. It was kite the BKB on Natsumi. Somehow don't lose multiple heroes through that duration. Rupture into your toss or spear, whatever is going to be the possibility. But I like this call from Natsu. This is an item that, if they don't win the game before the Lincolns, as soon as he gets it, this game's over. It completely gets rid of the only kill opportunity they have, I think, on the Chaos Knight.
Yeah. It just protects him really well. They are relying on that support control. They find Natsumi.
Excellent to the corridor, the damage bomb, and the stun control. They're going to bounce him to the left side. He tries to steal the agent, but Makoto playing without actual step charges now. He's able to reposition down to the south, though. 23 Savage forced to stand his ground, but the Disposer is going to drag him away from Force's positioning. Forward down, soon to be a wipe as well at the front of the pit. Makoto, he's got an ultimate up shortly, but AE will make sure that will not be enough to get him away. Will it? Makoto is running underneath the ward, but Polaris, they don't care. They've claimed all the components of Roshan. They're even going to TP in Natsumi as well. Blink's still on cooldown, but they want the objectives instead. They want to close out this game and book their ticket over to Genting.
They've got Golem sitting away. Fortify is there to solve it. Without Savage again, the damage, it's just not flying through.
Natsumi
Oh boy.
This force, is it going to be enough to get any abilities off? The glimmer. Oh, Makoto just gets out. Being successful as well with Hyde. Savage is up in 30 seconds. Probably going to be up against Mega Creeps though.
It's tough. With force down, you might have an opening. He does still have that Doom on respawn, but could still get recalled in. Not going to be a massive.
Maybe it's the jump. Focusing down Q at the moment. Gonna look to get rid of the Tiny to start the fight. Savage, he's still dead. He's unable to have the impact required. You're able to maybe turn this fight around. Let's look at Natsumi. Even jumps on forward with a finishing blow after the use of the arena. And his mind's all about the objective now. They want to deal with the Megas. Force is back alive. Looking for the Doom target. He's just pump faking as well. Polaris, they know they're in this prime position. Oh, get rid of the hang on. That's a lot of AoE. Okay. Second, Savage as well. But the first movement speed, they're being able to kite Natsumi. He's got a second life to play with. Let's see how they're able to set up for this. Rocks on cooldown. It's just the supports on Polaris. They won't really be able to do too much here.
What?
Talon, can they get AU and Ace the Remnant to cancel the TP? As Talon, they'll hold. What's it come at though? Tier 4 towers is still standing. It's not the Mega Creeps as well.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's still super creeps. Bot melee still stands. A bit of a misplay from Force. He had his Doom. He didn't have double Doom. He had one Doom. He didn't manage to snag it onto Savage. So he was free to hit. His damage was flying through. If the Doom doesn't come out, then can play. But that felt weird. Polaris had all the tools available. They had the Doom. They could have just isolated Savage once more, and then finally take out that last Rax, get the Megas, start the lineup for the Tier 4s. It's a big win for Talon. It's a 3k gold swing. They are still heavily behind by 32k. And they're still having issues dealing with the double Doom, with the double Golem. The next few fights coming out from Polaris are still heavily in Polaris' favor. As long as they play their cards right. I do like that Savage is going for a refresh, so double BKB, double Rupture, or quad Rupture before he passes away is pretty big. They can play without the talents and quite nicely. And Mikado as well going for a Link, going for multiple Lincolns coming out. I think you'd want one in KP, and then just start piling on these Lincolns onto Savage could be one way to protect and ensure your damage is going to stay relevant in these engagements. Talon, I mean, they're getting what they can off the map off the back of those kills, but Felicia's back with a vengeance.
And Savage is still here as well. What? The Doom Force tries to get the second one off. He's going to be successful at doing so, but Savage, without a capability to refresh, Makoto's going to look to jump in, but he's got to get out as soon as they bring down Savage. There's no way they can turn it around as Zavis gets the drag back. The ultimates is still on cooldown. They're going to be relying on the Chaos Ball, but the Aeon Disc should be enough. Makoto, in fact, goes to the north, and he's out with the TP.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. They got caught off guard as well by Mikado's Lincolns coming through at the end. So the secondary Doom out from Force was cancelled off. He did get the primary Doom onto Savage, and with the Ags upgrade, that break effect is kind of ruining the Blood Split in the middle. So they still find a favorable trade on Polaris' end. They could still force onto the high ground, even without Force. You don't have to worry about Savage, Mikado. Might be an issue, but it does still feel like you have enough control with the double Golem still available in AU. So you still have your cards set, and at the least they should be able to find a Megas unless Talon somehow finds the weirdest angle in the world.
Xavius, and the buyback coming out of Savage. KP, that is an incredible arena, but where's the follow-up? Blood Riot's going to get laid down. The Rock will hold them back to be able to jump in. Natsumi might be in a bit of trouble. They ruptured up the Chaos Knight. They've been able to control it. But Savage is here. They get the double kill. Savage! Okay, they'll continue to hold this one out. Makoto sniffing out some of the remaining members on Polaris, but they are too speedy to get out of harm's way. John, I'm really trying to look at this win graph and see if it's ever going to change from 0%. I've been going back and forth after that last fight that after the bottom defense prior to that one, seeing if it's going at least up to 1%. We're not there just yet as well off that hold.
Yeah, it's I don't know how Talon's finding this. KP gets a great arena on top. They buying back. Force doesn't want to buy back. He only had 16 seconds, maybe 10 seconds left on respawn. More than enough time for Talon to maximize this commitment from Savage. And that does still leave Talon in a very awkward spot where Savage will not have buyback, gets caught outside in one of these force fights. That will spell pretty much the end for Talon without that blood damage to that heavy luck. So we'll see if that risk is worthwhile in the end. The side of Polaris is going to have to hold off. Roshan's still a ways off though, which is to the detriment more towards Talon because they desperately need a Roshan buyback commitment. It's still a minute 10 away until we see that timer up, and Polaris should have full force by then, going to be able to line up themselves for the next Roshan depending on the timer. You do have the refresh up in KP and on Savage, so the sets of Rupture are up. Double arenas ready to go. This might make the difference. They have to do it again down bottom. This time, no double golem, but you do have the double doom ready.
The big thing is that the Rupture damage they've been prioritizing onto that Sumi, as long as they can pop the Lincolns, that percent damage is a lot onto the Chaos Knight's health pool. And look at Davies, he's just looking to jump in, unleash with the BKB. Again, KP! A 4-member arena, Makoto's in with the dissimulate some as well. Natsumi's falling low. They need the damage for and Savage is just going to charge into the middle. Polaris! They've lost 3. Do they get the bash? They do! What? Talon! Another hold! Get to the barracks! Operation Defend against the Megas! And they've done just that! But not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row now!
I don't believe this. Polaris had everything, and KP stepping up to the plate, delivering the goods. It's an awesome arena once more. And this refresh on Savage, this tech, man, it's ruining Polaris. He's just managing to... He doesn't care for Lincolns. He's going to have 4 Ruptures no matter what. It's like, alright, you guys feel protected? You have double doom? Guess what? I have 4 Ruptures. I don't care. You guys are going to stand still. You're going to allow me to hit, and KP doesn't quite find the entertainment. He's getting a bit eager, but that's the opening for Talon. He'll at least find a mid. Roshan a minute away. That's still enough time for Flash to respawn.
He's got BKB backup. Should be fine. A Glyph on Dire. They stick around for the tier 3. I think you're looking to get out. Top lane, you need to defend. You need to get ready for push. But it's a question of, John, can they replicate these fights away from the base? These are 3 fights they've been able to win where Polaris is just honestly mindlessly running up the high ground in a way. KP back-to-back fights, 4-man arenas. KP's doing it. Savage again with the initial damage from the Rupture. 20% of your current health. That is a ridiculous amount on the Chaos Knight. And this guy needs to be mobile, and he cannot be. And it's as soon as you get that damage out, KP just runs in with the Thirst. And if they don't have the Rock to hold them back, then he's just blowing up heroes. So this is... We're in for a hell. It's 30%. It's 13%.
I guess they're gonna need 3 more of those fights to drag it up to 20, you know, 26 at least. So we'll see. Talon gun try to smoke again. Looking for a fight outside. Roshan is up. That is something Mikado's keeping track of with his illusion, and might spot Polaris. They do decide to take a peek, although their smokes won't break. They don't get hasty as well. So, Roshan will be revealed by either side just yet. They do. Well, they know not to. He's taking a look. Maybe force an issue by the pit. The pit could still be a good area for Talon, but outside the pit, it's not tight.
There's a really good ward they can play with. They're in. Talon, the jump on the Xavius. They're going to see the rest of Polaris retreating to the right side. KP gets the arena out. The Doom's going to be a little bit too late, so it'll hold them back for the moment. But the double rock KP, they have to sustain to keep the Mars alive, and Savage is going to charge in. A secondary kill. He might tick out though on KP. What do they have to keep him alive? They're going to keep him alive? Oh my lord.
Roshan's open, no buyback, and Xavius did buy back last time around. One Doom down from the equation for Force. Does still have a refresh room available. Someone's got to step back and defend. That bot's going to be shoved in. You've got Lucius clearing out the creep wave, but you illuminate as he tends to do. And Talon doesn't have the opportunity.
Oh my lord. Wait, this ward's gonna see Lelouch. Q strike, Q does. BKB's on cooldown. Still.
What's happening? What?
What? At first was Makoto's got the follow-up. They just stood still. Playing with his food and they get him still. What's happening? Oh my lord. We are in for a thriller. We are in for a thriller.
It is. Look at that graph. I've never seen such a deep dive into a dive back up like this. That flat line, 0%, no saving grace. The doctors have put you up. You're gone. Comes back, gets a heartbeat back in, and it's still not looking good for Talon. Let's be fair here. Polaris still looks strong. They still have these double dooms, double golem drops. They've still got 2.5 set of racks their favor. They've got damage up the kazoo, but Talon are just finding openings. Polaris, and something's not connecting, and I'm not sure what. Giving openings for Talon to play. This itemization from Savage again has been massive. That refresh has allowed him to just get everything you need. Just the ruptures towards late game. It just scales so well. It is pure damage percent based, so it just punishes Polaris when they want to make a move in. And so all of a sudden, refresh shard on hand, ages up on Savage. I mean, what has happened?
What a beautiful game Dota 2 is. 2,000 net worth lead. This means jack at this stage in the game. You're asking what's going wrong for Polaris. I feel like it's just the initiation. Talon have been the ones to get the jump. You need Force to be going in. You need to get that ultimate out. You need to get the second ultimate out. But the one, you've got Lincolns now. You got the Void Spirit Lincolns. You got the Bloodseeker Lincolns. Could even be a consideration if KP requires that. But it comes down at this stage of the game. It's vision and it's who gets the initiation. And these last couple of fights, it's been Talon with that advantage.
They've been able to play along with it well, and we have to consider some scaling supports now, right? Hyde does have his raid packs, Hurricane Pike going into the Moonshard. So, even the Enchantress is going to be an issue in damage once the BKB's fade, and you're certainly not dooming an Enchantress. So she's going to be free to stand there, get a good position, toss out those impetuses, and still provide some output. Not amazing output, but some output to help the cause. Plus, they've lost the lead. It's 1K. It doesn't matter at this point. We're 52 minutes in, but to lose that much net worth is telling.
And they're going to get the Warlock as well. Makoto with the freebie. He was trying to deal with the high gun, but not going to be a possibility. We get a little bit of gold as well. Coming through for the gold. Thank you very much.
I would say, man. Okay. 0%. I've never seen Dota Plus change its mind about 0%. Never has it bounced back from 0 or 1. And it's to be fair, it's still Polaris 67%, right? Like they still have the winning formula here, Aries. They still have the majority of the racks. The map is still disgustingly small for Talon. And they still have all this team fight, they still have Doom, they're still very relevant. But they need to play to their strengths here. If they keep coming in one by one, you've basically thrown a game. Take it away to win things. You do not want to do that in this kind of game.
Okay, so this is a really important play from Polaris. What they did prior, they had Xavius move to the triangle, drop a ward down on the cliff. This is a location they can take a fight in. Talon probably are not expecting a ward to be set up there. Oh, Force? The Remnant, it's not going to be enough though. Xavius can close the distance. They need a TP to the outpost. Aeon's just going to buy him a little bit of time. Hyde's going to be in, but regardless, the sustain will not matter. Makoto's down. Can they capitalize on this opportunity to get any rebuttal kills? And they should be able to onto the Enchantress.
Savage? Wait, Savage?
We're Savage! No, not like this! The team's away. You can't be making multiple plays at the same time.
He does have buyback, but he still has the refresh shard and refresh orb. So when he does come back in, that's a lot of ruptures coming on. 6 ruptures that please come out, multiple BKB uses if need be. But they've got to find a way to make that happen. They have at least taken out one of the Dooms of Force. He did use the refresh. And there is still the double golem ready on AU. They need to find this last set of racks, force the buyback, punish Savage, close out the game for Polaris to get to Ginting. And Talon backs against the wall now. With that death on Savage, they do not want to expend a buyback yet. They need to keep stalling. They've got a Revenant's Breach on Mikado, so going all in from that Witchblade. And he's been doing pretty great work with the Ocarina, just how spam his spells are. All eyes on KP to try to find that opening now. They've been playing really well with the arenas. KP has been setting up for the team. Polaris being sneaky with a smoke across the map though. Gonna try to find another angle in. Dicey for Talon. A minute for Savage here.
I don't know how they're going to be able to hold this. They do have Glyph. Let's see how they can poke and prod. KP's at the ready. The ward as well, so they're going to be shouting out the heroes behind Natsumi. They do kind of push past the crystal. 30 seconds. Maybe they wait till the Marcy's up and then look to jump. Oh, okay, they see KP. KP, there's the jump. They pop the link in. Natsumi with the follow-up. That's a big kill. KP's been all their team.
No buyback.
And he has another buyback. He bought out for the Lincolns. They also forced the buyback out of 23 Savage. Meanwhile, the Rupture controlling the Chaos Knife for the moment. They're going to try and look to get the toss back. Makoto's in with the damage. Natsumi, they should be able to secure the kill. But can they keep the barracks alive? Savage turns back around, gets rid of Xavier's, gets rid of the Golem as well.
How?
Talon, they will hold the thrones exposed. They need to deal with the creeps.
You're still happy on Polaris. You forced the buyback on Savage. You have the Ancient exposed. You don't need to mess around with his racks if you wanted to. Just dig deeper onto the high ground. KP still a minute away. Big opening for Polaris still. No Golem left though. One Doom left on the refresh. See if that's going to be enough to handle here. Savage.
Toss, they get the Chaos Knight!
Oh no.
Natsumi, you just pulled back, sir! You cannot die! They're going to try and give them the bonus health. Q gets a toss away, but that's enough! A dieback on Natsumi! Operation Protect Savage, and they'll secure that as well! Turn towards the Mega Creeps, but they won't even be able to get that! As Polaris just mindlessly jumping inside the base, but they'll get no kills, nor any objectives! A Remnant dissimulates them finally. They at least get the tiny, but that's not the worthwhile kill they were hoping for.
What has happened? I mean, I'm actually just completely flabbergasted. Polaris, they lose the lead. Look, this is still terrible to Talon. Like this position on the map, the kills are great. With no tier 4 to defend. All the racks still standing for Polaris. Tier 2 still stands up top. You do not have a clear avenue to go into the high ground for Talon to use these plays. But they're holding on. And the fact that Polaris can't end this game is just providing some openings for Talon to maybe, if they find another fight outside of base, if they somehow keep these creeps away from the Ancient, they could rush tier 4s with these diebacks.
They do have a big issue with how they can... Ooh, a Makoto. Oh my god, Lelouch is just... shipping the night multiple times, passing KP, passing Makoto now. Oh boy. It's got a Deso. They might be all in for it. They want to force a BKB on Lelouch. It's really important for the Coddle to be able to position, but he might have the opportunity. AU to the side with the Glimmer, kept the chain control coming through from the refresher. Talon, look at the space they're making. One tier 4 down, second exposed as well, but Makoto is just holding them, killing the Coddle. KP, oh no. Reno's out, tier 4's are down, through and exposed. What? One of the best comebacks I've ever seen. Talon! We are going to a game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Talon will tie up the series 59 minutes in. Daddy Gaben said there was no opportunity, 0%, no chance for them to come back, but Talon prove it to be up.